Welcome to Library. Welcome to the second link in Library's hopefully infinite book chain. And our guest this evening was nominated by Idris, and our guest this evening will, in her turn, nominate the next guest. She is Oona King, Baroness King of Bow?
Oh, whatever you want to say. I thought that sounded better than Baroness King of Mile-End, innit?
What's wrong with Mile-End, please?
Nothing is where I live.
We have asked you to talk about three books, one which you've read in the past and admired, one which you're currently reading, and one that you would recommend others to read. And as I said, we're going to ask you to nominate somebody else. So, Oona King, may we have, please, your first book?
The book I think that I remember most, that impacted me at the time, is Vanity Fair by Thackeray. And yeah, it really struck me. It's the first time, I mean, call me a bit dim maybe, but it's the first time I read a so-called classic and just thought, wow, people haven't really changed, it's just the decades that have gone by. And for someone interested in politics, it's all about that manipulation, albeit on a different social scale. Oh, as I talk about it, I'm sounding omnipotent and powerful.
Is that going to happen to both of us?
I hope so.
Oh, carry on. Don't stop.
Well, I mean, you know, it's amazing. If you want to read a book that really strips away social artifice and at the same time shows you how someone can go about faking it, I mean, you know, that's the original masterpiece.
The one you're reading at the moment is also about politics.
It is about politics, yeah. It's Bringing Up the Bodies by Hilary Mantel. And so it's King Henry VIII. I learned a lot of things in my school playground, and in my school, but history and history of kings and queens was not one of those things I learned. So
even though you did a history A?
Yeah, I did history A. I got through an entire history A level and did not do a single king or queen. So you know, I mean, I think we go too far, don't we, in extremes. So in the past, I think it was only kings and queens. And then when I was doing it, 1986, 1987, history A level, not a single king. I can tell you about trepanning, history of medicine. That's what I veered off to. So anyway, I know nothing about this period of King Henry VIII, and I think what Hilary Mantel has done is basically the most awesome feat of literary magic, because she's basically created like a 3D environment. So you read that book and it's like virtual reality. Suddenly you're like, oh, that's what was happening with King Henry VIII and his 8 wives and all the rest of it. It's just an extraordinary feat. I can't actually comprehend how she did it. I genuinely don't understand that extraordinary level of intelligence and empathy, you know, entwined to bring something to life to the point, like I say, that I feel it's almost like a hologram in front of you. It's spectacular.
The third book is one that we've asked you to recommend to somebody else to read. So what is it and why? I've got a copy here.
So this book I recommend to anyone to read. It's called Why Love Matters. And if you ever wonder about why people are how they are, or what influences people to behave the way they do, or how we treat our kids, or how to parent, or just how to be a decent citizen, that book has extraordinary findings in it, which are all based in neuroscience, essentially, and the study of the brain, on how the impact of the first 18 months of life is disproportionately long on the rest of your life. You know, the way your brain develops, certainly in the first 2 years, will shape how you think and the personality that you have. So I think any thinking person is probably interested in the argument around nature-nurture. You know, we've had that argument, nature-nurture. Certainly I was brought up thinking I would tend towards nurture, because otherwise what's the point? It's all just predetermined. And what this book explained to me is that it's not nature or nurture, it is precisely the interplay of the two when placed, you know, it is how genes react. They will react differently depending on the environment.
You have to nominate somebody else, and then you have to, the clever bit is you have to ring them up and persuade them to do this, it's a really clever approach to guest booking.
I'm going to ask Jon Snow, who presents, you know, Channel 4 News, because Jon Snow is an incredible person who I know will have far more literary insights to share with everyone, and he knows what happened, you know, with King Henry VIII and all that stuff. He's got it absolutely down pat, so I think he would be a great guest for here.
Great. Thank you very much indeed, Oona.